What's up, people? So, yeah, I've been going through some of the Rocky movies again. They're really fuzzy in my head, but yeah, finally decided to make a video where I rank them all. Now I'm finally done with them. Um, so yeah, just pulled up this tier list. Gonna right now do everything I can to make it what I want it to be. Um, So I want to make this yellow. I'll make this blue. Um, so let's make this first category great. I'll make this one good. I'd like this to be bad. Those are the only three categories I can think of for these movies. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Um, so I guess we could just go in order, but yeah, I guess we could just go in order. So I guess the first movie to start with is, of course, Rocky, which I'll put in the good category. Like, so this, I do get some of the importance with this movie. It's a cool underdog story about this random dude on the streets who ends up becoming a celebrity just like that, and it's a pretty cool story. I didn't really enjoy it that much, to be honest. I felt the romance was a little fast, but yeah, I do understand what this movie is doing. I respect that. So it's enough for me to go good. It's actually a lot lower on my list than a lot of other people's just because it's not the most enjoyable for me. But again, I do respect what it's doing. Um, Rocky 2, I'd say it's a slight improvement over the first one. Um, I don't know. I felt more invested, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, I felt more invested. Um, it was cool seeing Rocky Jr. born, and it definitely felt like a part two. Like I saw somebody's ranking list where he described this movie as a part two to the first movie. Like the first two films are a giant two-part epic. We have the first movie where Rocky trains and trains, fights Creed. Then you got the second movie, which is like, all right, I'm gonna do a rematch. I'm gonna beat him this time. So it's a pretty cool thing going for that. It's still got the down to earth tone from the first movie, and yeah, this is good too. Um, so after that we have Rocky 3. This is when you can start to notice things get cheesy because the '80s are rolling around and there's more corny stuff in there. But I don't know. For me, it just makes it more fun. So I would put Rocky 3 in the great category. For me, this is a really great movie. I just found myself really enjoying it a lot. Also Mickey's relationship with Rocky in the second movie was really good. So in 3, seeing him die was that was heartbreaking. Um, I also enjoyed his story with Creed about Creed taking Mickey's spot and training him to be him. It was cool. Um, yeah, the bad guy I felt was a little lacking, but oh well. But yeah, I think I enjoyed this movie a lot. And then we got Rocky 4. So from what I've gathered, you either love it or don't like it, or even hate it. And personally, I love it. Believe it or not, it's actually my favorite one. So yeah, it's corny. It's got that robot in there, which is one of the most out of place things I've ever seen. Like even in the new director's cut that's coming, they're gonna cut out that robot, so that's something. But yeah, this was. a fun movie. I thought. It definitely, like, I think I was the most invested in this one. Creed dies, so Rocky's like, all right, I'm gonna avenge him, and I was rooting for him going against that guy Drago. I keep forgetting his name's Drago, but I always have to think for like a second for his name to come back to me. So yeah, that was really cool. Um, and there was also this whole thing with America versus Russia that I noticed. Yeah, I'm not sure that's. I don't know. That's so strange being in a Rocky movie. I kind of like that, how strange it feels. But yeah, I think this movie's really, really good. Great. But, so yeah, and then we got Rocky Five, which, yeah, obviously in the bad category. This one was messy, man. I'm not sure what they were doing here. Like, there's some cool story elements in here. Like, Rocky's training the new guy. He's got this thing with George Washington Duke, I think his name was. You got the whole thing with his son, his Rocky relationship with him. And that's the problem. There's too much of it. There was just so much packed into this. And seriously, I felt like Sylvester Stallone was trying to do everything. Like, he wanted to make this the conclusion, so he just crammed in everything, and it was just a mess. And then the movie just ends with a fight in the streets. I was just like, what is going on right now? This is just such a weird movie to end on. Thank God it wasn't the end. But yeah. Um, then we got the sixth film, Rocky Balboa. I'll put it in great. I don't know. I felt the most pretty invested in this one too. I liked seeing Rocky. He's much older. Um, her name, what's her name? Adrian. Crap, Adrian died. Crap. How did I forget that name? But yeah, so he's hanging out, and it was really cool seeing him being old but still kicking butt. Similar to the third movie, the villain was a little lacking, but he was cool. He was cool enough to fight. Um, Honestly, I think the best thing about this was just the fact that this old guy is fighting. It's like, that is just so cool. And it was a much, much better send off for Rocky's story than five. Like, this was just a much better send off for his character. It wasn't the last one, but back then it was, and I think it was good. So that's Rocky. But then we got the Creed movies, where we got Michael B. Jordan basically taking the mantle. And I'm enjoying it so far. So we got Creed, which I'm going to put that in great as well. Well, Ryan Coogler is a really good director, really likes Black Panther. So he directed this one too. And like, I got to say, he's a really good director, knows what he's doing. It was cool seeing Adonis as kick more butt. I liked how he wasn't trying to be the next Creed. He just wanted to be his own person. And I thought that's what they were going to do, but then they didn't. So that was a nice one. Honestly, I've watched the first few movies, and now the Creed movies are kind of fuzzy in my head. Like, crap, I don't remember them all. So I liked this one. Creed 2, I'm struggling to remember this one, but from what I remember, I put it in good as well. So Creed 2 is a good sequel. Adonis has got a kid. Oh yeah, Drago's son was in here. That was honestly, that would make it cool. It made Rocky 4 better in my mind. So there's that. Yeah, and Rocky, and again, Rocky's a really cool mentor in this. Not to mention a really cool scene at the end where he's meets his son, and so yeah. Um. So yeah, it's all thoughts you can think of at the top of my head. Overall, I'd say this series was pretty cool. Had most of its high, though with only one bad one. But yeah, this was a good series. I'm glad I watched it. Right now, I'm just thinking back to in the Winter Soldier. Steve Rogers has the notepad, and it says Rocky. One of them's the options, and then there's also another thing in there that asks Rocky 2. Like, do I want to watch that? And I'm just thinking, come on, you couldn't have included 3 and 4. Oh well. Yeah, that's about it. Um, that's Rocky. Peace.